This is the Cessna 175 Skylark, an aircraft that entered the scene after successfully introducing the 172 and 182 tricycle gear series. Cessna found themselves in an awkward position. The versatile Skyhawk was a little too slow for some owners, but the Skylane was too expensive of an upgrade despite having adequate performance. To solve the issue, Cessna married a similar configuration to a novelty-geared Continental GO-300 engine. The Cessna 175, later branded Skylark, delivered on its promises, but despite being a relative hot rod while staying well below the Cessna 182 price tag, many pilots failed to get accustomed to the peculiarities of the GO-300. The production run was concluded in 1962, only 4 years after its start, with a respectable 2,106 units built. During the first 3 years, sales were blistering, but as engine overhauls approached, many of those who mishandled it began missing the more forgiving nature of the 152, 172, 182, and their tail-dragger predecessors. The airplane earned an unfair reputation as unreliable, and production ceased, but those who stuck through with the 175 have found it to be an excellent plane that only asks for a little more care from the pilot. But is it really as unreliable as they say? Stay with us till the end of the video because here is everything you need to know about the Cessna 175 Skylark. Stepping into the cabin, you'll notice its width of about 42 inches or 105 centimeters, which is comparable to other aircraft in its class. The cabin can comfortably seat 4 adults, although comfortable might be a subjective term if you're planning a long cross-country flight. The front seats offer decent leg room, about 34 inches or 85 centimeters from the back of the seat to the pedals, but the rear bench seat can be a bit cramped. Overall, however, it provides a functional space that serves its primary mission effectively. The interior design is utilitarian. While newer models might boast plush leather seats and state-of-the-art technology, the Skylark leans into its role as a workhorse. Controls are straightforward and easily within reach, adhering to the intuitive design that Cessna is renowned for. The throttle, mixture, and propeller controls are aligned vertically on the lower part of the panel, making them easily accessible. Visibility from the cockpit is generally good, thanks to the high-wing design, providing an unobstructed view below which is an asset for both sightseeing and aerial survey work. When it comes to storage, the Skylark provides a baggage compartment that can hold up to 120 pounds or 55 kilograms of cargo. It's accessed via a door on the right side of the fuselage and provides about 12 cubic feet or 340 liters of storage space. While this is adequate for weekend trips, it can quickly become limiting if all seats are occupied and you need to carry additional equipment. The ventilation system is rudimentary for today's standards, often relying on air vents and small windows that can be opened in flight. On hot days, this system can be less than ideal, but it is generally adequate for most climates. Lighting inside the cabin is equally basic, typically featuring overhead and panel lights that provide sufficient illumination for night operations. Now, let's talk about the cockpit. The Cessna 175 is structured in a way that emphasizes straightforward functional design. With a width of 42 inches or 105 centimeters, the cockpit is spacious enough to not feel overly cramped. The pilot and co-pilot seats are typically upholstered fabric, providing reasonable comfort for flights of moderate duration. Control yokes are the standard for Cessna, and they offer a good balance of tactile feedback and ease of operation. The primary flight and engine controls are logically placed. Throttle, mixture, and propeller controls line the lower part of the central console, vertically aligned for quick adjustments. Other essential controls like flaps and trim are also conveniently located, sticking to the mantra of keeping things simple and intuitive. The circuit breaker panel is usually to the left of the pilot's seat, which some might argue is not the most ergonomic choice, but is consistent with designs of that era. In original models, the instrument panel housed classic 6-pack analog gauges, which include the airspeed indicator, altimeter, vertical speed indicator, attitude indicator, heading indicator, and turn coordinator. These provide the essential data required for VFR and basic IFR operations. Engine parameters like RPM, oil temperature, and fuel level are generally displayed on the right side of the panel. The avionics can range from traditional to state-of-the-art, largely dependent on what upgrades the owner has decided to install. Original models would have come equipped with basic communication radios and navigational aids like VOR receivers. However, many Cessna 175s on the market today have seen their avionics updated to modern standards. Popular upgrades include GPS navigation systems, often integrated with MFDs that can display a variety of flight and engine data. Autopilots from brands like Garmin or S-Tech are also a common retrofit, providing features like altitude hold, course tracking, and sometimes even vertical navigation capabilities. Digital engine monitors can replace the traditional analog gauges for engine parameters, offering more precise data and sometimes even fuel flow calculations for more efficient flying. Transponders have also seen upgrades, with many aircraft now boasting ADS-B out and in capabilities, fulfilling modern airspace requirements and enhancing situational awareness. Visibility is good, thanks to the high wing design. The window layout affords a nearly unobstructed panoramic view. The lighting in original models is rather basic but functional, with floodlights illuminating the instrument panel and additional lighting options usually depending on aftermarket modifications. Now let's talk about the engine, performance specifications, and how it flies. The Cessna 175 is powered by a Continental GO-300 engine with a TBO of 1,200 hours, a horizontally opposed 6-cylinder power plant that outputs around 175 horsepower. This engine is unique in its gear reduction system, which allows the engine to run at higher RPMs while keeping the propeller speed within optimal limits. The advantage of this setup is an improved power-to-weight ratio, but it has also earned a reputation for being somewhat complex and challenging in terms of maintenance. Notably, the engine operates at a speed of approximately 3,200 RPM, much higher than most direct-drive engines in similar aircraft, which usually peak at about 2,700 RPM. The aircraft requires 1,200 feet, or 365 meters of runway, to take off at sea level on a standard day, with a useful load of 960 pounds or 435 kilograms, and a full fuel payload of 490 pounds or 222 kilograms. The engines allow a maximum rate of climb per minute of 950 feet or 290 meters, and a maximum cruising altitude of 17,800 feet or 5,425 meters. The plane has a maximum speed of 153 knots, a maximum cruise speed of 120 knots, with an average hourly fuel burn of 10 gallons or 38 liters when operating at 75% power. Clean stall speeds are 55 knots indicated airspeed clean, while in landing configuration, this figure is 47 KIAS. Unlike most commercial Cessna offerings, the Cessna 175 does not have any in-house long-range fuel tank options. Following the economic cruise profile gives pilots a full range of 630 nautical miles, which is 720 miles or 1,170 kilometers, including reserves. The fuel is stored in two 26-gallon wing tanks and is gravity-fed through the selector valve and strainer to the calculator. And finally, the minimum landing distance is 1,200 feet or 365 meters. The base purchase price for a new Cessna 175 Skylark was a measly $10,995 back in 1958 before options. But now, a well-maintained model can usually be found for $50,000 to $100,000 depending on its specifics, making it a very affordable aircraft for those seeking a powerful aircraft but who do not need all the gizmos on the Skylane series. While the annual fixed cost is roughly $5,000 to $8,000, the average hourly operating cost is estimated at $100 to $150. Thank you for staying with us till the end. Here are 2 videos you can watch next. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.